In the right place at the right time. Hear from a couple of local first responders and their efforts to rescue a man right along a Madison thoroughfare. Plus, the Madison Fire Department adding some new state-of-the-art devices to its repertoire. We'll show you how they work. And later, a local woman's story highlighting the shortcomings of this American healthcare system. A special call for action report coming up right now on News 3 Now at 10.
Without immediate bystander CPR, the gentleman would have had very little chance of survival.
Tonight, Madison firefighters emphasizing the importance of CPR training. While off duty, two of them randomly came across an unconscious man along John Nolan Drive, and that training helped save his life. We'll have their story coming up in just a couple of minutes. First tonight, just when we thought the winter weather is over, Mother Nature has something else in store. Our First Warn weather team has issued an alert day for tomorrow night. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti with those details.
Well, it doesn't seem like we should be expecting snow, but we are. And this will be later tomorrow night into the day on Saturday. Let's start out by taking a look at that First Warn weather alert day. This will be from late Friday night through Saturday morning, and then the snow should be winding down Saturday afternoon. Right now, we're thinking about 1 to 6 inches of snow or a little bit more. The heaviest amount southeast of Dane County, north and west of the Dells, maybe no snow at all, but we'll see a sharp cutoff in there. I'm looking at some of the very latest computer model forecasts that are coming in and see if we need to adjust that at all. But this is kind of what we're thinking, about 6 inches or a little bit more of snow from around Monroe and Janesville, perhaps as far north as Edgerton, over toward Johnson Creek and north of Milwaukee, but north and west of the Dells, almost nothing there. About 1 to 3 inches from Madison to the north and west, and a little bit more from Madison to the south and east. The time lapse from the WISC Skycam shows clouds this morning, thanks to the snow that we had last night, but then some sunshine this afternoon as temperatures climbed up into the 40s. In fact, if we take a look at high temperatures, Madison hit 44, Janesville 46, just not quite as mild as yesterday, but still everybody was in the 40s. Now we're seeing temperatures in the 20s north of Dane County, 31 in Madison, 32 in Janesville. Across Dane County, already 28 degrees in Sauk City, but 30 in Sun Prairie and 32 in Belleville. Look for skies to be partly cloudy tonight. It'll be a little colder, low temperature at 26. Few people have reported seeing the northern lights tonight if you're away from the clouds, but later on I'll take a look at the forecast and look at the timing of that snow and see how much everybody can expect.
Thank you. And remember, with the storm moving in tomorrow night, you can stay up to date away from your TV with our free First Warn weather app. Everyone hopes that if they collapse outside, someone will find them and call 911. Well, one jogger who went into cardiac arrest along John Nolan Drive yesterday was lucky 911 found him. Two off-duty firefighters who, get this, don't usually take that way to their destination. But as Arman Rahman finds, their coincidence was the man's lifeline.
You could see that there was a man lying on the sidewalk, and we were like, uh-oh.
If you were driving on busy John Nolan Drive and saw a man on the ground, you might not know what to do.
His feet were facing the road and his head was up toward the sidewalk.
But luckily, these two Good Samaritans knew better than anyone. Off-duty firefighters Sue Yeatis and Chelsea Utsarath sprung into action.
I forgot that I was wearing civilian clothes.
They found the man was not breathing and made sure to relay that info to 911.
We figured we ended up doing about 4 minutes of CPR, but the urgency of the response went up once the dispatcher was able to give that information to our emergency medical team.
Within minutes, their co-workers arrived and took the man to a hospital.
We just felt like we did all that we could at the time. We were the first ones to physically take action and start doing compressions.
The Madison Fire Department says bystander CPR is critical in what they call the chain of survival, which starts when you notice someone unresponsive and call 911. Then comes hands-on CPR, but then comes an AED. So if you don't have one in the area, hands-on CPR is the only life-saving method before an ambulance arrives and takes the person to the hospital.
Without immediate bystander CPR, the gentleman would have had very little chance of survival.
But these two found out later in their day off that they did save his life.
It was good news.
Good news that spread. The patient's brother posted on Reddit.
Oh, who was this hero and this man? And I giggled because she was wearing a baseball cap.
But they say anyone can be a hero if they know how to do CPR.
You may never use your CPR, and you might use it the next time you go to the grocery store or to a restaurant.
In Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
And those two firefighters urged the public to register and attend MFD's first community CPR class. That is next Wednesday morning at Fire Station 14 on Dairy Drive. New tonight, state investigators are trying to find whoever is responsible for targeting the state's online court system. It caused service interruptions earlier this week, but court officials say no records or data were compromised in the process. Former President Donald Trump is now lashing out on social media against the Manhattan District Attorney as a New York grand jury considers whether to indict the former president. In one social media post today, Trump wrote, "Everybody knows I'm 100% innocent, including the DA, Alvin Bragg." In a second post, he says, "This is no legal system. This is the Gestapo. This is Russia and China, but worse." Approval of President Joe Biden has dipped slightly since a month ago, nearing the lowest point of his presidency. According to a new poll by the Associated Press, the president notched an approval rating of 38%. This after 45% said they approved in February and 41% in January. And looking ahead to Monday, a reminder, News 3 Now will be hosting a mayoral debate between Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway and challenger Gloria Reyes. We'll live stream it at 7 p.m. on our website and social media pages, and then it will re-air the following day at 4 o'clock on News 3 Now. Slovakia has handed over the first 4 MiG-29 jets it has pledged to donate to Ukraine. The rest of the planes will be delivered in the coming weeks. Last week, Slovakia, which is a NATO member, joined Poland in announcing the delivery of jets to Ukraine. In total, Slovakia said it would donate 13 of the Soviet-made fighter jets. And an update to a story from last night. Police in Denver, Colorado say the 17-year-old student who shot 2 staff members at a high school has been found dead. The shooting happened while the suspect was being patted down. He was reportedly under a safety agreement at the school due to past behavior. Yesterday's incident is the 18th shooting this year at an elementary or secondary school in the U.S. Next tonight, thanks to a group of local philanthropists, a life-saving device is the newest addition to the Madison Fire Department's toolkit. Our Nicole Herzog shows us how it works and how it could help in an emergency.
With 350,000 cardiac arrests happening in the U.S. every year, the Madison Fire Department is no stranger to responding to those emergencies. But now, a tool called LUCAS, short for Lund Cardiopulmonary Assist System, is making that response time even better.
There's sometimes some human error involved with any manual compressions or anything else, so the device provides effective, consistent manual compressions, so the person that's the victim is actually receiving the best kind of compressions that they possibly can.
It works like this. Once a person has gone into cardiac arrest, first responders place the machine's suction cup on the patient's chest. From there, it can mechanically give the person CPR, making the process more effective.
We do a lot of training to do really great compressions, but humans can tire and fatigue as the resuscitation becomes prolonged.
It doesn't just save patients' lives. It makes giving that medical treatment much safer for everyone involved.
It also allows our providers to be belted in the back of the ambulance rather than standing up over the patient in a moving ambulance, which can be dangerous for them.
And these LUCAS devices can be found within any of the city's ladder trucks.
This has just been a really great opportunity for these devices to come out of the hospital and into the field. It's really allowed for safe transport of patients with active CPR to the hospital.
In Madison, I'm Nicole Herzog for News 3 Now.
The devices have now been in service for about 6 months in all 5 ladder trucks, and MFD's medical chief says it's given them a key to success when helping patients in need. There's less than a half hour remaining for Madison residents to share their thoughts on a set of design plans that would drastically reimagine Lake Monona's waterfront. In January, Madison's Parks Division opened a public survey asking for feedback on the 3 final design submissions. That survey will remain open until midnight. And here's a sign of the season. The preliminary lineup for Summerfest is now out, and there are some big names. The annual event will once again be running the 3-weekend model it's been using in recent years. We have a breakdown of the headliners and dates on channel3000.com. Still ahead at 10, your full forecast, including a closer look at tomorrow night's winter storm chances. But first, a call for action and how a local woman's story points out many problems with our healthcare system.
It's A1 Furniture's biggest and best sale ever. Their warehouse liquidation event is on now. Our lease is up and everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold now at huge discounts. 40,000 square feet of incredible savings only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Oh, the weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Legends in Concert share tribute artist Lisa McClowry's live on stage. Presented by the Friends of Middleton Performing Arts Center. April 1st. Tickets available now.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Don't miss out on 40,000 square feet of incredible savings at A1 Furniture's warehouse liquidation event on now. Everything must go with immediate pickup or delivery. Sofas, sectionals, dining sets, bedroom sets, mattresses, and more at liquidation prices. Only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
The candidates for Madison Mayor face off. News 3 Now, Channel3000.com, and the Cap Times present a debate between Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and challenger Gloria Reyes.
Watch live streaming Monday at 7 p.m. Replayed Tuesday at 4 on News 3 Now.
IRS agent is waiting for your call back.
When you've been scammed, when a business won't listen, when you get obstacles instead of solutions, don't give up. Call for action.
I'm News 3 Now's Leah Lynchide. Our Call for Action team is here for you, exposing scams, mediating consumer disputes, and getting results. Contact us by phone or on channel3000.com.
Call for action, only on News 3 Now.
We're taking action for you.
Life in the 608 is all about how you live it, and there's plenty of inspiration.
This is just an idea that I rolled with.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Spreiter. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind.
Who's the evil twin?
Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
My motto is, do the change you want to see in the world.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
It doesn't get any better than this.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. A rocket made almost entirely of 3D printed parts made its launch debut overnight, lifting off amid fanfare, but failing 3 minutes into flight, far short of orbit. The first stage did its job following liftoff from Cape Canaveral, but the upper stage failed, sending it crashing into the Atlantic Ocean. It was the third launch attempt. Well, most of you are no stranger to the mess that our medical billing system can be. For one Madison woman, it turned into a nightmare when her kidney dialysis came back with a price, and then that price tag doubled. Our Catherine Merck has been following her story and how our Call for Action team stepped in to help.
2 years of a wall, barrier, people not responding.
Dr. Fabu Carter is well known in Madison.
I'm a kidney dialysis patient. That's a critical illness.
Her health treatments came with a high cost, and then the price tag doubled.
You feel powerless.
Dr. Carter says she was paying through her health savings account to Fresenius Medical Care and out of her own pocket. She says the problem, Connect Your Care, which manages her HSA account, wasn't recognizing the expense as a true medical cost.
I work in geriatrics. I know how to navigate this, and I still couldn't get anywhere.
For months, she tried to get them to help without success.
This has been pretty much the longest and the most intense case I think I've had to deal with.
She called our Call for Action team. They ran into the same problems trying to get Connect Your Care to pay the bills she was already paying them to cover.
Every time I called, I was starting all over. No one knew the story. No one could intervene and help. Supervisors wouldn't call me back.
I'm not surprised that these complexities occurred for her, that she ran into this kind of situation, because everyone does.
Meg Gaines is the creator and teacher of a course on patient advocacy at UW-Madison for medical and law students. She says Dr. Carter's case points out many problems with our healthcare system, especially when trying to call customer service lines.
There are many places you'll call. I've called and waited online for, an hour or an hour and a half just on hold, waiting to get a hold of a human body.
Please hold while I connect you with someone who can help.
Dr. Gaines says these issues go beyond just paying the bills.
Prejudices that exist in our culture are mirrored in the healthcare system. It's not any different.
I'm an African American in Wisconsin. We're already in the statistics for not receiving good health care. I think this is a prime example of people not helping.
2 years later, Dr. Carter and the CFA team finally got an acknowledgement from Connect Your Care that her dialysis was indeed a valid medical expense. But the story still isn't over.
They don't think she should receive her money back, but we're not going to stop just yet.
The price tag on a broken system is one many more like her will still have to pay.
So what happens to everyday citizens who have health concerns, who need these services? What do? They can't.
In Madison, with this Call for Action investigation, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
Dr. Carter's HSA Optum responded to her situation with a statement. It reads, "We have processes in place to ensure reimbursements are compliant with relevant federal regulations. While we do not comment on specific issues in the interest of an individual's privacy, we are committed to working with our account holders to reach a resolution." Well, take a look at this. A rare confirmed EF1 tornado touched down in Southern California. It is the strongest twister to hit the Los Angeles area since 1983. The storm collapsing roofs, uprooting trees, damaging cars, and sending debris flying into the air. There was one reported injury. And it is always best to be prepared, no matter where you live.
Los Angeles doesn't have a lot of tornadoes, but this is kind of climatologically the peak time for them when you get storms in March. Of course, we're getting into severe weather season. We're not looking at any of that kind of weather. We are looking at the possibility for a winter storm tomorrow night. But Saturday, if you're interested in learning more about severe weather and preparing a severe weather safety plan at home, we have our Dark Skies Severe Weather Seminar at Madison College between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Open to the public, no charge. We'll have presentations on severe weather safety, people from emergency management and from insurance. So you can set up your severe weather safety plan if you come out there. Again, Madison College, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Our first warned weather alert day in the forecast for late Friday night through Saturday morning for snowfall of 1 to 6 inches. Heaviest amounts still appear to be southeast of Dane County, but areas north and west of Wisconsin Dells probably not seeing much snow. So most of this snow south and east of the Dells area. And if you look at Future Track, you'll see the reason why. You can see precipitation coming northward. Midnight still just getting into the southern part of Dane County, but changing over to snow near the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. There could be a little bit of sleet or freezing rain in there as well. But notice by 4 a.m., pretty much all of Dane County now covered by snow. But notice the sharp cutoff to the north. It gets about to the Dells by early Saturday morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock. West of there, probably not much in the way of snow, but a pretty steady snow, heavy at times from Dane County eastward. And then by Saturday noon, notice it's starting to move eastward and then moving out of the area. So looking at some of the very latest computer model forecasts, we might have to shift the heaviest snow just a tad to the south and east and maybe increase the amounts there. the northern edge here, this area might be cut off here. So Richland, Crawford, maybe much of Grant County may escape the snow, whereas we're still looking at probably somewhere between about 2 inches in northwestern Dane County and maybe as much as 5 or 6 inches in the southeastern portion of Dane County. So again, this is kind of what it looks like. The storm literally developing on top of us. That makes it very tricky to forecast, and you can see the reason why. Some of the computer models still have the heaviest snow right over Madison. European computer model does that. And take a look at one of the other forecast models. Much less snow, more down toward the Chicago area, and nothing from Madison to the north and west. So again, there's a big discrepancy between some of the computer models, and just a little shift in the storm will make a big difference in the overall snow amounts. 47 for the high tomorrow, no problems during the day, partly sunny skies, not as chilly. Across Dane County, look for a high of 46 in Windsor, 45 in Brooklyn, and 46 degrees for the high in Stoughton. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, Prairie du Chien getting up to 50, La Crosse 49, and 47 down in Monroe. But again, that snow develops later tomorrow night into Saturday. Once the snow ends, some sunshine could get temperatures up to the upper 30s and start melting some of that snow. But notice those temperatures staying on the cool side, assuming we have some snow on the ground for the first part of next week. Later parts of the week, temperatures a little bit warmer and mainly rain, although the rain could be mixed at times with some snow, mainly during the nighttime hours.
8 former Badgers got the chance to show off their skills at Wisconsin's Pro Day. We'll hear from some of them on this surreal moment after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Good news! This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes, and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Now get a 2022 Explorer with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
How did Richard Bong shoot down 40 planes in World War II? He said he got so close, he couldn't miss. Learn about Richard Bong, World War II, the Vietnam and Korean Wars, right here in Superior.
Got a good feeling about this, yeah, I'm with it. I got a good feeling about this, yeah, so let's get it. I'm feeling good vibes.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
You already know Dan Kelly worked for a radical anti-abortion group, and on the court could uphold Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban with no exceptions for rape or incest. Here's what you didn't know. Kelly opposed background checks on all gun sales and even wrote the court decision making it easier for dangerous people to carry guns in public, banning abortion, putting our communities at risk. Dan Kelly is too extreme for our Supreme Court.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
With the NFL draft just over a month away, Wisconsin held its pro day today. Several former Badgers returned to Madison to showcase their talents in front of all 32 NFL teams, with a couple former teammates in attendance, Jack Sanborn being one of them. This afternoon, 8 players, including Keanu Benton, Nick Herbig, Tyler Beach, and the notorious jewelry thief John Torchio, participated in drills such as the 40-yard dash, pro agility, and broad jump, as well as position-specific work. Now, the obvious goal for these players is to take that next step in their careers. So being able to display their skill sets on this stage really was a pinch-me moment.
It's amazing. I remember being in the same spots as the teammates here right now, just sitting there watching and not being able to wait to get to this position. But at the same time, it's part of life and it's part of the journey is to wait your turn, and then once your turn comes, just take full advantage of it.
It's pretty cool, honestly. It's kind of surreal, just kind of think I'm in this position, especially as like a walk-on. You know, if you asked me at the beginning of college if I was going to be in this spot, I would probably said not.
The 2023 NFL Draft begins on Thursday, April 27th with the first round, and it'll run through that Saturday. Andy Van Ginkel is staying in Miami. The Dolphins made it official today that they are re-signing the Badger alum. Little career overview. Van Ginkel was drafted by the Finns in 2019, has played 56 straight games, starting 31 of them. As for stats, 150 tackles, 96 of those solo, 11 sacks, 1 pick, 13 passes defended, and the list goes on. Exactly 1 week from today, the Brewers will be at Wrigley, opening up the season against the Cubs. But for now, they still have a few more spring training games. They're hosting the Padres this afternoon. Bases juiced in the second. Christian Yelich takes advantage. A shallow left field knock and an infield error brings home a pair of runs. The Brewers add a couple more, including a Victor Caratini homer, and they win it 4-2. The Badgers are Las Vegas bound, and one of the big reasons that's happening is because of Max Klesman. Against Oregon, he racked up 18 points, including a pair of second-half triples. The second was a late-game go-ahead 3, but if you've been dialed into the Badgers this season, you know that's how Klesman rolls. He comes in clutch, especially down the stretch. And his recent play, as well as leadership on the court, isn't going unnoticed by Greg Bond.
Wearing that uniform means a ton to him, and I think now that he's kind of got his feet on the ground after having, not quite a year here, he's comfortable because he's proven himself as a player, and you can't really take a vocal ownership of a team or in a huddle until you cross that line as a proven player. And I think that has been accomplished in the past. He has an edge to him, like a lot of our guys that have sat in that seat.
UW will face North Texas in the semifinals. That game is on Tuesday night at 6. The winner of that matchup goes on to face either Utah Valley or UAB for the NIT title. We'll be right back.
It's A1 Furniture's biggest and best sale ever. Their warehouse liquidation event is on now. Our lease is up and everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold now at huge discounts. 40,000 square feet of incredible savings only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way.
All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
After I was robbed and my girlfriend was beat up, Janet Prolasewicz was the prosecutor that went after those criminals. Those fools were on a violent crime spree. Janet prosecuted them case after case and brought those criminals to justice. I saw her work up close. She's compassionate, she's fair, and she believes in public safety. On the Supreme Court, I know she'll fight for you because she fought for me. Janet cares about us.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Oh, Oh, the weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
It's Stop the Madness month. If your energy bills are too high, stop the madness. If your comfort is out of balance and you go straight from heat to AC, stop the madness. If you've had it with outside noise, stop the madness. Get insulated now and save up to $2,000 with the energy tax credit plus our madness discount. But the clock runs out at the end of the month, so call today.
USA Insulation.
Allergy sufferers, bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way.
All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Don't miss out on 40,000 square feet of incredible savings at A1 Furniture's warehouse liquidation event on now. Everything must go with immediate pickup or delivery. Sofas, sectionals, dining sets, bedroom sets, mattresses, and more at liquidation prices. Only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Watch live streaming Monday at 7 p.m. Replayed Tuesday at 4.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, we are sharing the story of airline captain Melissa Ward. She was the very first black female captain for a major U.S. airline. Danya Backus shows us how she's working to make sure other women can follow her path.
Need to pull back a little bit.
Whether it's inside a United Airlines flight simulator or flying the friendly skies, Melissa Ward has soared to new heights in aviation during her more than 3 decades-long career.
You know, I never started my career thinking I'm going to trailblaze. I always just felt like I was going to do my job.
In 1998, she became the first black woman captain at United Airlines and the first in the U.S. to fly commercial airplanes. But even before flying with United, she was a pioneer, the only woman to graduate in her Air Force pilot training class and the first black woman instructor pilot in the Air Force.
People saw me in my flight suit and they were like, wait a minute, are you here for pilot training? I'm like, yes. They're like, we've never seen anyone like you. So that was the first time I had an awareness that this was something groundbreaking.
She is now dedicated to bringing other women along for the ride.
There is something about trailblazing that's important, and it's not about the status for yourself, but it's about the opportunities for people behind you.
She plays a part in the ascension of female pilots. She is a flight evaluator at United's Flight Training Center and helps recruit through the United Aviate Academy. The flight school plans to train at least 5,000 new pilots by 2030, with the goal of at least half of them being women or people of color.
My job was to make the road wider. And then the people behind me, the job is to make the road smoother. And so it should continue on and continue on until there are no more roads anyway, you know, and no one is talking about this because we've done it all.
Pull back a little bit.
And she's cleared the runway for the next generation of black women pilots to know this flight path is possible. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Captain Ward went from being the first black female captain to now one of 8. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, only 5.6% of pilots are women and 6% are people of color. Finally tonight, what is old is new again, and that could mean a comeback for Blockbuster Video. The defunct movie rental company has restored its website with a message reading, "We are working on rewinding your movie." Dish Network bought Blockbuster and its brand in 2011, but the brand has been stagnant ever since.
I think there's one Blockbuster store open, in Oregon.
Really?
Meteorologist Greg Barnhart said he went there. But
oh my gosh.
That used to be the thing to do back when, growing up, you know.
I still
Friday
have my
nights.
membership card, just for old
My
time's
mom
sake.
probably does too. She probably does too, honestly.
Well,
All right, so we've already begun a new day here. 2 minutes into the new day.
Yeah.
What are we in for tonight?
Tonight, tomorrow, no problems. There's a live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Skies are partly cloudy. For those people who have a clear view of the sky to the north, you might be able to see the northern lights. We've had a couple of people send us pictures just recently that they were able to see them up in Sun Prairie and in Sauk County. We've gotten some reports of being able to see the northern lights. Current temperatures, a little chilly out there. 31 right now, Madison, 32 in Janesville, upper 20s north of Dane County. Here in Dane County, most areas in the 30s, 32 right now in Mount Horeb, 31 in Deerfield, and 30 the current temperature in Sun Prairie. Look for skies to be partly cloudy overnight. And then for tomorrow, well, actually that's jumped ahead a day. So that's actually Saturday's forecast because we've gone past midnight. So there we go.
All right, thank you, Gary. Thanks for staying up with us. Join the morning crew at 4:30.